Well, hello MGTOW. Today we're not in the truck. We're going for a little walk and talk, and this video will show, will serve as evidence that when you go your own way, sometimes in this lonely path, you'll find things rather unexpected. Anyways, I do have a topic of conversation today, and the topic of conversation is maturity. What does it mean to be mature? What it means to women, and how that can actually lead to violence. So when women, and let's face it, it's the women who generally pick the men, right? When women look for a man, when they look to establish some sort of relationship, right? One of the qualities they look for is a man that is mature. Now, what do they mean by that? Because apparently they're so turned off by someone who's immature, right? Well, they mean, they're looking for, we got to remember, they're looking for someone that offers them security, right? They're so insecure themselves, they depend on a man for security, whether they like to admit it or not. And so they look for a guy that can stand up to the elements, right? They look for the man that's not going to take shit from anybody at any given time, and this and that and blah, blah, blah. We men, we know that that individual doesn't exist. I mean, you can be a special operations soldier and, some little kid can punch you in the balls, and what are you going to do? You start questioning things, right? Are you going to kill him? So it shows I'm just taking a quick break here, guys. I think I find this place rather interesting. This is not representative of what you see here in the United States. This is a pretty interesting place indeed. Wow. Yeah, it looks like we found the unexpected. But anyways, they look for a guy that offers security, right? And they look for this so they look for this guy that they can constantly attack, right? Constantly shit test, to see if the guy, because they figure if the guy stands up to their crap, the guy's gonna stand up to everybody else, and they have a reason to feel protected. In the example that I just gave you guys, we can see that that's not the case always, right? And there are many other examples. But so she's looking for a guy that makes her feel protected. Okay, that's established enough. Now, what happens? She gets into this relationship with this guy, and she starts constantly shit testing him. It's usually a guy that has a good job, right? We're not talking about the alpha males here. We're talking about the beta lux provider deluxe, right? And so she starts shit testing this guy. Now, we men, we're not as socially adept as women are, right? So very often we know she's harassing us. We know she's giving us a hard time, but most guys are like, oh, whatever. She's just a woman. I'm not gonna pay attention to it. I'm just gonna ignore it, right? So she sees you ignoring this, as a sign of strength, right? As a sign of, hey, you know, this didn't affect him, it didn't bother him, right? But she doesn't stop the shit test, right? She doesn't stop the shit testing. She will never stop it. And so what happens is this guy starts to internalize all this stuff, right? And then one day, you know, unexpectedly, I mean, little by little, he starts getting frustrated, tired with all her bullshit, right? But because of her constant put downs, right, his self-esteem or his value as a man starts to decline too, right? In his mind, right? Even though he may be making more money, or even be in better physical shape, which is, you know, rare, but it's possible, right? That a man gets better as he ages, right? And so one day he just decides that he's had enough, and he hasn't been feeling good because of all her stupidity, and he may be, I don't know, relaxing on a couch or whatever. She comes home from seeing her boyfriend, right, her other man, while he's providing, and she starts bullshitting, right? So he loses it. The one guy that seemingly was able to take it all in stride loses it, and he punches her in the mouth, right? And that's when it happens. The police get involved. Now he's an abuser, right? Has to go through the court system. If they're married here in the United States, you know, she can pledge the Fifth Amendment, which means that you know, her right not to talk about what happened, right? So without that, they don't have a case. They can remain married, and he can continue on providing, right? But that stays in the record. What doesn't stay in the record is all the months and years of psychological abuse that poor man had to sustain, right? That he had to withstand. That's not on the record. Very hard to prove. Very hard to prove. We go, and obviously, usually he's taller than her, right? Because of hypergamy. Women look for men that are stronger and taller than them, all right? So that stays in the record, right? But what is he gonna do? He's gonna say to the cops, oh, you know what? She's been psychologically abusing me for all this time, and you know, I just had enough. You know, I just kind of, the punch just kind of came out of me to protect myself. You know, I had enough. I'm fed up. He can't say that. What are they gonna say? Oh, you're bigger, pal. You know, you're done. You're going in. That's it. You know, that's it. There's no mercy for the guy, no compassion, no forgiveness. All those values that we men tend to guide ourselves by, there's none of that, you know. And who's the victim here? That's why men are walking away. That's why men are walking